guys, my name is Kim. I'm the founder and editor of forharriet.com, and I wanted to talk about one of the more persistent myths about Black people that I find absolutely infuriating. And it just so happens that this one is perpetuated primarily within the community. What do you mean Black people don't support each other? So there's an idea that Black folks are crabs in a barrel. I'm sure you've heard the phrase. So it basically means that Black people are so miserable and so jealous that whenever we see someone else of African descent doing something remarkable, climbing new heights, doing something outside of the ordinary, that we will do anything in our power to pull them down to prevent their success. That doesn't even make sense, right? So let's examine it. Okay, so there's a good chance that if you know a Black person who has done something remarkable, someone who is successful, no matter how you define the term, that they were helped somewhere, sometime along the way by another Black person. So by virtue of segregation, both legal and de facto meaning, the persistent segregation that is not necessarily enshrined in law, but is a byproduct of policy, right? The fact that a lot of us still continue to live and socialize in community because we do feel a sense of camaraderie because of a shared history, but also because a lot of Black people feel a sense of linked fate. And that's a political science term meaning that a lot of us feel like when one of us comes up, we all come up. So we have more reason to help each other, to share experiences, to introduce each other, to send references, right? And this is a real thing. It's documented. But I can absolutely concede that perhaps Black people are a little bit more cautious in our support, right? So we might be more risk averse because of our history of fighting for legal protection, of fighting for recognition, right? So that might make us feel like you need to prove yourself before we can fully get behind what you're doing. I think often about the 2008 presidential election, right? So for a long time, Hillary Clinton had a lot of support from Black people because we felt like she was a sure thing, right? We, like the rest of America, felt like she was a shoo-in for the Democratic nomination, right? But then, throughout the campaign, the president came in and won some really important primary victories. And then things changed. We were like, oh shoot, the Black man can win. I'm going with him. It's normal. So you might have to prove yourself. You might need to get some victories under your belt, but that does not mean that we're not going to support you, right? And so before we go on crabs in a barrel rant, think about how you can make yourself better. Ask yourself, am I whack? Am I advocating for something that is dope and compelling? Do I need to get my skills up? Am I a jerk? Right? Because that will definitely stop some people from supporting you. But what I find to be most offensive about the crabs in a barrel myth is that it implies that Black people don't have a culture of excellence. That if we accomplish something that is remarkable, if we are successful, that we are doing so in spite of our heritage. And that's just not true. Black people have been creative and brilliant and innovative long before colonialism and long before slavery. And we are continuing that legacy in part because we have kept community. In fact, I find myself supporting Black things just because I want Black people to have those opportunities, just because I want us to have bigger platforms and be able to express our talents, right? Look at Tyler Perry. This man has 10 shows on the air at one time. He is a multi-millionaire, right? And who did that? We did that. So let's put that myth to rest. Nobody is entitled to support anybody, but Black people have survived in large part because we root hardest for each other. And like, that's why being Black is so awesome. Anyways, I know somebody is going to disagree with me vehemently, so feel free to leave a comment or send me an email or tweet me. And make sure to visit forharriet.com.